And we're live. Alright, let me check my mic. Is this working? Alright. I'm actually not sure if everything's working like it should. I have new monitors. So, here, I guess I could listen to the stream. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think we're good. Alright, it is April 5th, 2019. It's Friday. It's about 3 minutes to 1 o'clock, and we are making indie games. The last time I streamed was a week ago. It was right before PAX. I think it was right before PAX. That sounds about right. If I recall, I was working on the boat levels. So what's happened over the last week, I've been working non-stop, except for when I went to PAX on Saturday to, like, you know, meet people and stuff. There's been a handful of meetings for other things, like we had a 4-hour meeting on Game Dev World, but for the most part, it's just been a lot of stuff for Kine, and a lot of it isn't really anything I can show, right? Like, I submitted to Sony. That was a bit of effort because I had to get a static IP in order to order a dev kit. I followed up with Microsoft in a bigger way. I have a dev kit on the way there now, or on the way here now, so I have a Switch dev kit over there. So the console stuff is up and going. Yeah, this is where Kine is happening, Rory. I should play this. What else? So that's the non-game dev stuff. There's a big push over the weekend. So for various reasons, I wanted to try to get to the latest version of the Unreal Engine. I just thought, like, I would ship on... I wanted it to be, in my dream, in my head, I would ship on the latest engine when I shipped, and that way any DLC I do or anything won't be, like, on a several-year-old engine in case I need to port to one of the many platforms coming up. It's not a secret, there's new platforms coming out in 2020. And so I've been trying pretty hard to maintain engine parity, but I'm on engine 4.20 right now. And they're up to 4.22, so I'm on an engine that's about a year old. And I tried to update. I got up to... I have a lot of circular dependencies that have been keeping me from updating. And I don't have the ability to, like, figure out where they are and stuff. So I basically spent a day trying to fix as many as I could. My buddy Elmore told me to focus on the UI system. Fix as many of those as I could. We still couldn't get it to work. He was kind enough to work with me and... like, send me the call stacks of where it was crashing. And we got to a place, I managed to get it so that we can be on 4.21. And I've officially hired Elmore to help me with the ports. So he might be able to help me later on. Disbelief, the company I'm hiring to do the ports, is probably going to help me out with updating to 4.22. But basically there was like 2 days lost doing that. That was over the weekend. I'm going to update to 4.21 after everybody from the UK goes home. So this weekend, basically, after they've checked in. That was a big thing. What else happened? There's a bunch of bug fixes because, keep in mind, people banged on the game at GDC. Most of that isn't stuff that you can see. There's been a lot of feedback on the levels because they get... Keep in mind, the team in the UK, basically every day I spend like a couple hours giving them feedback. They've been steadily working through all the art for the game. They've got these levels back here, and there's just a lot of back and forth. Like, I do paint overs of what they did and show them what I want, and just kind of art direction takes time. Like, what do I have? Here's random feedback. We're talking about where I want the shapes to change and things like that. This is just what's on my desktop. So I've told them several times I don't want any beveled edges in the game, so make this more angular. Things like this. That eats up a lot of time. So even though I've been working nonstop, I don't have much to show you. What I have worked on personally, that's my work, would be... Oh, I modeled this. I've been working really heavily in the boat area. I'll end with that. I'll start with... we're still working out stuff for the shaders in the dance floor area. I'm going to turn off the sound. Alright, let's look at some stuff. So they modeled. They did a first pass of this, and we're still going back and forth on the environments. I don't think any of us are really happy with the orange boxes situation. I did take a pass at the riser. Like, they gave me a riser model, and I hooked that up to, like, move. That was a quick task that was fun. So make the wheels turn and stuff. I still need an ending where that moves up with you. And there's obviously a lot of shader work that I need to do here once we know what's going on. I need to figure out why that's backwards. Yeah, more with that. I experimented. I did this kind of drunk after I got home, so I don't remember this super well. But they gave me a texture to update this dance floor with, and I experimented with what it looks like when you enter and exit these levels, how the props can fall down to kind of form the area. This is just the beginning of an idea. I need to keep pushing on. There's a lot of shader work. There's just a lot of polish to do there. Most of what I've been doing has been in this area, which I think I streamed initially starting to think through what to do for the shaders here. And I think on, what do I have just recorded? I have random recordings because the way I work with them is I record things and send it to them. So like, here was my first test. This is not what I sent them, this can't be. This is feedback on a different level where things are broken. Oh yeah. So I got up to this point. I like modeled these little things, and I modeled these kind of like, what if there's these things with hooks that tie to the world, and they gave me this texture for the world, and I was playing around with what if it's like a tarp, and for the boat levels you're kind of on this tarp going back and forth, and I kind of played around with the shaders to get that to work and look the way I wanted it to. The big thing being like move side to side. The tarp moves kind of like that. Sorry, I'm getting pinged by everybody. What do you want, Rory? Twitch is really zoomed in. You can't see the screen. God damn it. Alright, I'll restart. God damn it. That looks really fucked up. Is it like that the whole time? Was it like that the whole time? Have I just been talking to myself? Let's see here. I mean, do I just have to like scale it? How do I do this? All right, hold on here, guys. We're gonna figure this out. Oh, that's really difficult. Son of a bitch. Have you seen anything I've been talking about? Oh. So like, there's gotta be an easier way to do this. I have new 4K monitors. So last time I streamed, somebody in the chat was like, hey, do you want a discount on 4K monitors? And I was like, yes. And then that actually happened, which is great. Oh, that's all stretched and fucked up. Look at that. Hey, okay, so now do you see my screen? Control F, Control R to set the source. Yeah, sorry, Weiss. I don't read good. Oh no, don't close OBS, you fucking idiot. Oops. Yeah, I have 4K monitors. That was another thing I did. I've been upgrading things because I showed the game at GDC and it looked like I got lucky. It looked great on those big ass 4K TVs, but it that was luck. And it occurred to me I needed to like there was certain textures I could see, and it occurred to me I should probably have 4K monitors because some people play the game in 4K. So I had to put down some money to buy 4K monitors. And now I have those, which is really nice. I'm getting used to it. It's very crisp. They're very big. I can also like, my boyfriend helped me put them on these arm things so I can like move them around and shit, which is cool. Wish I could show you. Yeah, like, it looks so legit. Check it. I don't know if you can see this. Oh, that's my screen. Maybe I shouldn't show you this. Whatever. There's like arms. They're cool. Anyway, that's the deal. So, here we are. Oh god, I should have moved this, and I gotta think. I think I go there. Whatever. Happy Friday, guys. How are you? You wanna look at some game stuff again? I should... should I restart this for the YouTubers? Oh, don't worry about it, Golden. And I'm sorry, like, I've been terrible at replying to you on Twitter. I feel really bad about it. What were we talking about? Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna restart it for Twitter. I'm so. How much have you guys seen? Do you get the idea? I hope. Here's. Alright, let's talk about the river, because this is the thing I've been doing the most. I started out, I made this, I sent this over to the team probably last week. The idea being like, I was speccing up what if we make a tarp. I was playing around in the shader on how to make it so that the tarp kind of follows the boat and like getting that to work technically. And that was a great deal of work. And then I sent it to them to mock up, and we immediately hit issues where in the shader I couldn't figure out how to make the metal thing solid, the part where that attaches there. And so my dude was like, what if it's a rope that ties around the thing? And then I was riffing on that, and he sent me something that didn't exactly work. And so I thought, what if I add an edge? So I took what he made and I modeled kind of like an edge to the world. So I like modeled this stuff up, and I took the rope and extended it. And I actually like this a lot better because you can't actually fall off the world. I like the idea that there's this, it looks like there's a thing that visually stops you. I sent this to him yesterday. I also told him I played around with removing the white stitches from the texture, and I think I like that better. And basically we've been working, I've had several calls with him today. He's really cool. His name's Nick, and he's working on the boat right now while I keep pushing on the textures for this area. Oh, also he updated, like we've been going back and forth updating the obstacles and things. I'm trying to get this closer to done, and so that's what we're doing more of now. So we're going to work on that area. And that's the update for YouTube. I need more memes and shit. I need more of a lot of things, man. I'm glad you like it. Hey, Pro Puke. This is a video game pretending to be a stage, pretending to be a river. Hey Marcos, what's up, man? I'm glad you like it. Hey Sudokan. Oh man, I feel like I haven't streamed in forever. I feel like a year has passed in a week. And also no time has passed at all. It's weird. Time is fluffy. What else is there? Yeah, there's just a million tasks to do right now. Oh, another thing I did was I modeled this. I had to take some time figuring out exactly what the scene is going to be where you actually first get into, like, where you unlock the riverboat area. And so I'm kind of like playing around with this, and at some point I want to start playing around with, like, I need to do a final pass on this thing, the ring around the world, making this actual geo that kind of moves and making it all kind of fit together. And I think here's gonna be where I experiment with that. Like, how can I take these spheres and animate them and make them look like they're part of the fog and everything. So this is what I'm doing here. It's one of the many things. Yeah, it's been pretty hectic lately. It's going well, too much coffee. There's just a lot. It's hard because I was gone for 2 weeks and my art team cranked. And I worked really hard to make sure I was way ahead of them. Like, I chunked up the world, I had everything ready for them. I had notes for weeks, but they plowed through it. And it's not like they can keep going without me. Like, I need to keep giving them feedback, which I love. This is my favorite part. Like, directing the artists is by far the easiest and most fun thing. If anything, it's a problem because it means I don't do anything else. Because there's obvious bugs in the game, and I've put no effort into the audio. I'm hoping Penguin Dude just handles it. Mitchell. Yeah, and it's gonna be on Epic Games Store. That was a big announcement. No, Tinker Tyler. I left the Molasses Flood at the end of last year. Like, I spent most of last year slowly exiting that company, training up somebody else to take over as CFO, hired my replacement, and I'm just officially gone. I'm not there anymore. Sweet, Mitchell. Thanks, man. So yeah, it's going well. We need to move very quickly if we're going to hit our deadlines, but we are moving very quickly. And everything is moving. I think we're on track. I need to have the environments all first pass complete for everything, including like a lot of the areas you haven't seen yet because like this is only a third of the game, right? And this isn't quite complete yet. We're pretty close. There's obviously the riverboat areas that you saw, the dance floor. We haven't figured out what the calendar looks like yet at all. They're currently, I can show you some concepts. Like today, everybody from the UK has left, which is why I started streaming, but we've got like, they're concepting up what it could look like when you're up here. I don't think we've hit this yet. I can show you things that like, so I told them to take a stab at this. I wanted this to be, when we first talked about it, it was going to be like a Roman temple. You kind of, as you get to this part of the game, you get to props that are more and more, I don't know, prestigious. And this is going to be a big Roman temple. But when I was gone and they realized they couldn't do a Roman temple or anything like that because the columns were too circular. So they tried a Mayan temple, which I think is, well, there's no easy way for me to show you this because it's kind of the end of the game. Well, I can show you like, they were thinking of doing something like this. And they modeled this up, actually, but it's just not what I want. Like, it doesn't fit the themes of the game. The whole, you're building music machine, you're building up to a stage, you're building up to like, this is supposed to be you're entering the main stage, you're about to sign a deal, you're composing music, and this just doesn't fit in any way. So we're gonna completely redo this. I think what I sent them was a bunch of stuff from Pinterest. So like, I don't even know where this is opening. I think this is opening my Pinterest. Yeah. Like, what if it looks more like a grand staircase kind of deal? Go away. Okay, whatever. Sorry, it opened in a different thing. Hey Propuke, hey Rory, thanks for the bits. Oh, you want to share? Yeah, Golden, share your trailer. Let's take a look, because I like it a lot. Yeah, it looks nice. They have a lot of stuff that looks nice. I actually, before we look at Golden's trailer, I want to show you something that's really cool that we're not doing, which is a shame because it's really cool. If I go back through, this is one of my artists, Nick. He had, no, it's not under him. I have Andy, Rick, and Nick are my artists. It gets a little bit hectic. Okay. This is my favorite thing that I've seen, and I totally know how I would do it too. I saw this and I just saw in my head how it should fly together, and how they should be puzzle pieces, and I know exactly how to do it, and it would be really hard and really fun, and I really want to do it, but it has nothing to do with anything, which is a shame. Like, I really like this idea of the entire world being puzzle pieces, and as soon as you, like, the way the level comes together, like, you hit a button and it just clicks together. I think that would look hella cool. I'm gonna do this for DLC. Somehow, somewhere, I'm gonna do this. But yeah, we're not gonna do it for this game. There's lots of stuff like that that comes up. Hey Rarebite, what's up? Thanks for the raid, man. Alright, let's take a look at, forget, am I allowed to use your real name, Golden? Alright, this is an aspiring indie dev. Golden, whatever, she's in the chat. I'd say it for YouTube, but I can't. Check out her trailer, Swan Song. I hope you're proud. That's an insane amount of work for one person part-time. Beautifully done. I already sent you my feedback on it, so I won't repeat it, but like, that's an insane amount of work. I'm really impressed. I'm excited to see what the game is actually like. So yeah, definitely fellow Golden Toys. I guess you had your name in there, Valerie, so. Oh, for fuck's sake. I linked my dashboard instead of the thing. Cool. Alright, so that's Golden Toys trailer. Have I checked out editor utility widgets? No. I'm still on 4.20 right now. I'm thinking I'm going to move over to 4.21 this weekend. I'll just keep pushing at it, Golden. You clearly have the spirit if you're doing that much on your own. It's impressive. I missed the option to say 420. Yeah, man, can't give up 420, man. I'm into it. I can. I'm ready for 421. I wanted to jump right to 422. I don't even know what the issue is. This is the problem. Like, I hit... Oh... like when I hit a wall with that kind of stuff, my only option is like, I mean, I can't even see the call stack for why it's crashing. Like I have no idea why 4.422 isn't working. So it just isn't. So I just kind of hit the wall where I'm just going to hire Delmore. He'll tell me if I even need to update. I just really wanted to. I wanted to be in the latest engine when I launched. I wanted this to be something, like I wanted to have a solid code base that I could build like several DLC and maybe even start the expansion on. And hopefully not have to update again later. And I know the new consoles are coming out and I know I'm gonna have to update later. So I just wanted to be on 422 at least. If I'm gonna update, I wanted to just update to the latest. I didn't want to do like a half step. .422 is crashing a lot for you. 421 was pretty bad, I heard at first, which is, I mean, I was hoping whatever, I know they fixed all their bugs. I had a circular dependency, like, all right, this game has a million circular dependencies because it's just let me do that, and so I did. And that's apparently fine everywhere except for anything to do with the UI. So most of the weekend was spent pulling everything out of fixing all the circular dependencies in Slate and UMG. Was like, basically, I did PAX on Saturday. I tried a bit Friday before PAX. I spent all of Sunday just fixing circular dependencies and a bit of Monday night too. And we got it. Like I can open the game in 4.21. But that was not easy. Hold out for Stadia. What happens when Stadia launches? Oh, you think that'll be like 4.23 or something? I think consoles are yeah, there's never going to be a perfect one. There's so many new consoles launching. Because I think the big consoles, like Xbox and PS4, are probably going to be next year. And I don't think Epic is going to roll in any supporting stuff. Like, I don't know what they're... Like, legally, you do a dance when you are an engine company about when you can pull certain things in. Like, if I'm talking to Microsoft about their next console, then I have to have an NDA with Microsoft and an NDA with Epic and a special NDA for all three of us. That sort of thing has to happen just because you see their code. And there's more to it than that, too. Like... anything with Microsoft. So when I started talking to Microsoft, I started talking to them as Gwen Frey, and then I founded Chump Squad so that I had like an LLC to launch Kine under for liability reasons. And this has been an ongoing thing where like I had to go, I'm in an email chain that's got up to 6 people at this point trying to fix everything in their back end because of this. And in the end I had to like I had to make a company letterhead so that I could send them a letter with a company letterhead that is signed by all parties, being me, that had to do with the transition from like one corporate entity, which is Gwen, my name, to another one, which is Chump Squad LLC, which is entirely owned by me. And it just became like a day of shit that I had to do. Do I have to fax it? No, thank God. They took the scan, as long as it's a PDF. You think Stadia will be a train wreck? I don't know, man. There's so much going on. There's a lot of money behind Stadia. That doesn't mean it'll be good. But there's a lot, it's interesting. There's things about it that I find extremely interesting. Oh, I'm sure you've had to use a fax machine. There's still places that require faxes. I don't know how much, like, I was talking to Google at one point, so I did know about the Stadia stuff before they announced it, but I think at this point everybody knows everything I do now. I think they're doing a lot of interesting things there. I think there's a lot of potential in streaming games. Like, I think there's a lot of interesting things you can do with design. I think in particular, the stuff they're doing with YouTube is really, really interesting. I mean, you have to keep in mind, yeah, I don't know. It's also difficult to say because I'm very biased because I'm American. So I have in my head the way things are, which is not true around the world. Like, Twitch isn't as big a deal in China. In China, the biggest streaming platform is Facebook. Like, it's just the way you understand the world is so local. And streaming is definitely something that's not necessarily targeting the American audience, right? At least the way Google sees it, it's a way of putting sexy AAA titles in the hands of people who don't have good computers. And I believe they plan on leaning heavily into 5G, so the fact that there isn't really good internet right now isn't a big deal, at least not in the long-term plan of Google. Which, if in the next 2 years 5G becomes a big deal, there's potential that they're right. Like, who knows? It's just something that's unknowable if you happen to be in my position, which is an American with really good internet and a good computer, and I see no need for it, really. As far as playing kind of twitchy games. Like, for me, what's interesting about Stadia isn't that I can play, you know, like Assassin's Creed on it. Yes, Asia has amazing internet compared to the West. Africa would have the opposite, though, Mitchell. They have no internet and they rely entirely on mobile networks. And then you get like, I'm just saying it's different around the world. A lot of people have been talking about paying devs the amount of minutes the games are played. I haven't actually, nobody I've talked to is doing that yet. So I don't know where that's coming from. It's must be coming from somewhere. But again, I think the idea of a subscription service and how devs are paid on that, and how that's a completely different conversation versus streaming games. I think they're linked, but I don't think those are the same conversations. The Apple game streaming, yes. I don't know that much about that. That's actually something... it's interesting. At GDC, I spent a lot of time hanging out with Alan Hazelden and the other puzzle gamers, and they're all really obsessed with mobile, and they all know a lot more about Apple, and are following that a lot more closely than I am. Like, I suspect a lot of the puzzle game devs are way more excited about, or following that a lot closer than I am. I honestly don't know shit about Apple. It's the Apple, what are you talking about? Yeah, they announced a subscription service, right? Hey, Sramps. Kind is a narrative 3D puzzle game about 3 machines that dream of being musicians. Let's play it. I did do some work with the camera, so I can show that off a bit. So, start off, you're one of these cute little characters. And you just kind of move around this 3D world. This is the intro area, so it's very easy. Eventually you get to places like this. You have to figure out how to use your limbs to get around. Oh, interesting. I broke something in the camera. The camera used to look up when you move up like that, and now it does not. We're gonna fix that right now. Because I broke that when I was fucking around last night. It's different areas, you do different things. This is where Euler and Rue go on a little romantic boat ride together. This is where this is now. My artist is working on the boat literally right now. This is his first pass. One of the things I did with the camera is before the camera always followed the player, I'm experimenting with each level. I have a float where it'll basically track between... You can entirely follow the player, or you can be in a static location, or you can be somewhere in between. And I have a percentage that you're in between. So for this, it's like 25% tracking the player, 75% staying static, aiming at one location in the middle of the level. And I just needed to do that for some of these kind of levels, because it was nauseating when you're sliding around this level. from that weird sausage game. You've heard of Stephen Sausage Roll? Yes, that would be a... I did like that game a lot. I would be lying if I said that wasn't a huge inspiration. I think when I started this a long ass time ago, I started it before then and it was crap and I gave up on it, and then I played that game and I was like, oh, there's gonna be a million games like this. That's what I should have done. Oh well, I won't now because there's a million games like that. And then nobody fucking copied Stephen Sausage Roll. So I think maybe like a year after that game came out, I thought maybe I should go back and start making this. And then it just kind of became something totally different. I mean, there's a lot of inspirations in this game, but that game was awesome. I could show you some footage from back in the day. I haven't figured out this level yet. Sure, go for it, Golden Toy. The way you change perspective, is that riffing on Fez? No, Fez wasn't actually an inspiration. Don't get me wrong, it's a good game. There's other areas as well, so again. Let me, while I'm thinking about it, and while you guys are writing up stuff, let me look at what I did for the camera. Let's fix that. I did that last night. I'm trying to have a social life, so I'm trying to like go out drinking, but also work, which is meaning every now and then I check in little surprises for myself. Which is fun. You know, it's good to have like surprises and stuff, right? Gotta keep yourself on your toes. So I'm glad I did this, but why is it busted? So I added this. So this is the location of the camera, and this is the look at rotation. And I want you to look at the Z, which is a blend between the location that the camera is. What? No. What? Oh no, that's correct. This is the character. Oh my god, this is so stupid. Okay, so this is a static location where the camera is, and I'm lerping between that and the height of the character. I just had them flipped. So the percentage on the rotation of the camera in the Z was different from the whatever, you'll see now. This should hopefully be fixed. Because what I want is when you move up, the camera moves up. See? The camera's looking at Quat's body. I wanted these levels to not change at all. Because I do like that I like that the camera tracks the player completely and utterly in these levels. I played around with that, having that not happen, having the camera more static, and it just looked like a cheaper game. A lot of people mentioning Roblox, which I did not play, partly Atomic. It's all good, Golden Toy. Yeah, I understand. I did the best I could to design these characters to kind of showcase, to give them life and stuff, and also show what they do. And I think in playtesting, people have been able to figure it out pretty quickly, because you click a button and you see what they do. So I'm not that worried if that doesn't showcase as well. The harder thing is showing exactly which grid tile the characters take up. That part is extremely important, and being able to read the grid in 3D space is by far the biggest challenge so far as like visually explaining the game. Are you occasionally sleeping in between? I sleep at night. I've been sleeping. I've been eating. Eating is not a problem. I can snack and compute. I've been doing, like, I'm probably crunching at this point, but it's a very healthy crunch. Hey, keeping track. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't stream so much. I'm trying to keep streaming once a week because I enjoy it. But I get so much more done when I don't. And I have so much to do that I don't know if for sure I'll be able to keep it up. You want me to watch your video on stream, Mitchell? Are you okay with that? What if I ridicule you on stream? Also, did you send me that video that you just talked about? Could I start drinking on stream? I don't want anything I say while drunk recorded. Golden toy. I just don't think that's wise. Ugh. Sorry about that. Do you guys even hear that stuff? No. Okay, good. My call's forward very loudly to my headphones. Oh, I don't know if I should watch this. What if I hate it? Mitchell, are you prepared for that? I always hate something the first time I hear it. You know that, right? Oh, you did hear it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, God damn it. Here, I'm gonna just turn it off. Oh, I can't turn off desktop audio. Then you won't hear Mitchell. Okay, you just sent this to me. It was high risk.
Of what I'm looking for in terms of the sound. Okay, so this is going to be an explanation of what I'm looking for in terms of the sound design of the movement for the accordion and the trombone. Right now, as this video is going to play, it's going to play the accordion, and this is what it currently is. As you can hear, it's basically looping the same couple of sound effects. That's not exactly how real music works, which is why I'm hesitant for the sound design to just be 3 sound effects or a handful. That's why I sent so many sound effects, because music doesn't just operate on 3 sound effects. Here's how it would ideally sound.
I like that one. Alright, you're cheating though. I need to hear that over the music, because I think some of the problems we had was that it clashed really hard with the music. Anyway, I'll keep playing.
To say the least, this is not necessarily the most perfect sounding music sort of thing, but I don't think that's really the point. I think what really is the point is that when you move, it's supposed to sound a lot more organic and musical, and there are maybe some shortcuts that we can make. For example, when you are clinking into the wall, we can just take the same banks, and maybe if there's a way to repitch everything up a half step, that's one way to do things, and it'll sound dissonant. Basically, I just want the sound banks to be a really big variety of things, and for the movement to pull from any number of those sound effects, having separate banks for different forms of movement. So when you fall off the world, as you can tell, I put a different sound effect on. I love the one that's currently in, but I would like variety. Okay, so this is
okay. So I think most of what you're saying is you like what's in, but you want more variety, right? Which I would agree with. I think... Oops. I mean, I agree with you, Mitchell. Like, I would love there to be more variety. The problem is, like, I had 100 sound effects, and most of them were way too long or just didn't work. And I pared it down to the ones that would work and also didn't, like, clash really, really hard with the music. And then and that took a long time because there's a lot of them. But if... Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm totally on board with the idea of there being alternates. As long as they, you know, like, they're similar to the... How do I put it? Similar in length to the ones that are there. You can alter the pitch and stuff in Unreal too. You don't need WYs. So if you just wanted to like have a random pitch on each of the movement sounds, we could do that too. Like if that would be enough to change it. And there's definitely more than 3 sounds. Oh, I think the other thing is you get different sound effects depending on if you're rolling onto the side of her that's a piano versus the side of her that's the side. So I think if you're only going back and forth like that repeatedly, you will hear the same handful of sounds. Pitching the sound effects to the music is something that I wish like I had the time and energy and capacity to do, for sure. The audio is definitely a place where I wish I had... Like, I just only have so much that I can do. And, like, unfortunately, the audio is good enough right now that it is not a priority over literally everything else. Which is bullshit, because it is a game about musicians. Hey Husky, I don't know if I said hi yet. Oh, Mitchell, can we... I should schedule a meeting with you, because I haven't been doing that. It's just been there's so much going on. I think you've been busy too, right? Like I haven't been ghosting on you, have I? In all seriousness though, Mitchell, the things I'm concerned about right now, like you're worried about the one thing I'm not worried about. The thing I don't like is I'll show you. When I say I dislike some of the sound effects. What I'm talking about are these. This I'm fine with. This I'm not fine with. Like, what the hell is that gunshot sound? Like, I've gotten used to it. That I kind of like. I love this. Like the piano sounds on here I think are cool. What are the other ones? Like let's go to... This isn't arted up yet, but like let's go to one of these levels. I'm not sure how I feel about those switching ones. I don't hate it. You know what? A lot of that actually kind of grew on me. Yeah, I think the piano sound effects was the most successful one we've done. Oh, I remember. Like, I'm pretty happy. I straight up like the drum. I'm pretty happy with the accordion. I think the trombone is the weakest by far. Like, I never test the trombone, was the other thing. So I haven't had a chance to get super frustrated with it. but like... That does not spark joy. I don't know what the hell that is. I'm starting to wonder if like trombone sounds can be joyful. Or if it's just gonna kind of sound like pooping. You like it? You thought it was upbeat and funny? Maybe I'm the only one that just thinks that sounds awful. Fine. If it sounds fine, I'll ship it. I'm honestly like, I'm okay with it. But it's supposed to, maybe he's just like Eeyore, maybe he's just sad. That trombone fills you with joy. Alright, well fuck it, I've been overruled. The world likes it. Alright, fair enough. Okay. It's not my favorite thing, but you know what? A joke goes, a conductor asks the trombone section to sound like the heavens are opening up. And the trombones reply, I don't understand. Do you want it louder, higher, or faster? No, I don't care that much about... I don't care as much as I should about the audio for the trombone. Like, it took me a while. Maybe part of it is I just didn't need to grow on it. Like, a lot of times I get used to hearing a sound effect, and even if it's bad, I'm just used to it. And then it comes time to, like, it's replaced and I just hate it instinctively, just because I'm not used to it. And so, on some level, you have to just not trust your own ears. Specifically, for some reason, that doesn't happen with me for, like, art. I will never get used to certain things. I'll be like, that looks hideous, that still looks hideous. I remember thinking that looks hideous, and I still do. Whereas with audio, like, I'll be adamant that I hate something, but it's just legacy in my brain where I'm used to it sounding a certain way. You keep saying the trombone makes you nauseous. I don't understand how sound can make you nauseous. And I know you're not kidding. But, like, I really don't understand. And I know you're not kidding, but like I really don't understand. I mean, I guess I can. There's a certain sound of like ripping corrugated cardboard that makes my teeth hurt. So I guess I can understand the concept of like certain sounds bringing you physical pain. Nails on a chalkboard. But the idea that a sound effect can make you motion sick is really interesting. Got it. Seeing your own spaghetti code triggers mild depression. Yeah, spend a weekend trying to fix circular dependencies and realize you can't, and then contemplate just not shipping on console, and then feel feelings partly atomically. You know how that feels? Because you can't even see the fucking call stack of why something's crashing. Live in my world for a weekend. That weekend is over, thank God. I'd appreciate that, Mitchell. Whatever you want. You know what, I like... Honestly, the trombone did grow on me, and I remember what I did that changed it was like, if you listen to the trombone sound effect, I mean, honestly, this is something we have to collaborate with, because a lot of what's going on here isn't the sound effects you gave me. It's most of the movements especially can't just be like the sound of a trombone. It just didn't have a staccato enough sound, and it just was boring. So when you hear the trombone move, you're hearing two things. You're hearing a glockenspiel and a trombone, right? And I kind of had to do that so that it felt like you had a punch to it. And so there's, if I recall, like we can look at, where's the movement sound effect? Audio, sound effects, trombone. None of these are being used anymore. Trombone move cue. This is all just crap that I removed because I've been trying things. So there's 4 different scoops that are playing and 4 different glockenspiels, and it randomly chooses one of each and it mixes them together at about this volume, and that's how I'm getting the output sound effect. And that's what's playing every time he moves. Whereas when he's sliding, when you're doing a slide from one end to another, I play a different sound effect, and that is... You can see I tried a lot of things here. I'm just randomly choosing one of these scoop sounds that you gave me. Obviously you can't move that fast, but if you could. Yeah, I know. It's just... I'm gonna put this near Bandcamp. Oh, man. Oh, wait. What are your thoughts on a cassette tape rewind sound? That would be fun. I'd be fine with that. I did, so... There is a chance at the end of April that I get some free usability testing from this company. It's one of those companies where they like get random people to like play the game and they track their eyes and shit and like send you the footage. I think they give you like one free run so that in the hopes that you'll buy their services later. I may or may not get this. It may or may not be offered to me, but if it's offered to me and if it's free, I'll take it in probably the end of the month. What month? April. Yeah, after the end of April. And so why am I telling you this? Because I'm gonna probably spend next week working with Rick. One of the things we're gonna do is update the UI to look like a controller. I think I want to keep the buttons on the HUD looking like forward back like a cassette tape, but I want to move them into the locations where they are on a controller. And I still, one of the things I got at GDC was nobody connected that the shape of the buttons when you're using a controller are the same as the shape of the buttons in the UI. So here they're in a straight line. And I still want this to be grounded. I hate that it's not. Whereas if you use a controller, sorry, they jump to the positions that they are in a controller, like that triangle at the bottom. But that's not reading. I don't know. That's a problem for next week. I have too many problems this week. Next week I'm gonna figure that out. Yeah, sorry. Should I turn off my sound? This is gonna drive you guys crazy. Because you're hearing it every time I get pinged. I thought I wouldn't get pinged that much because it's a Friday afternoon. Usually it's quiet. Where is... I am going to turn off the audio for the Unreal Engine, and I'm going to get to work on shader stuff, because that's what we titled the stream. Matching the Xbox controller layout. ProPuke, the other problem here is, like, I don't want to have to... In the perfect world, I have a UI that is the shape of a controller, but doesn't have any of the actual buttons, so that I can use the same freaking UI for, like, the Xbox One, the whatever's coming next with Microsoft, the PS4, the Switch, whatever else I'm forgetting, probably, like, Steam controller, or the fuck Google's launching. Like, everybody, for patent reasons, has different, like, buttons, like different shapes on their buttons, and so I don't want to be locked into the colors or shapes of a specific controller. In the ideal world, it's just like you create a diamond and the user figures out that diamond maps to what's in their hand without any other help. That's the dream, right? I definitely get the appeal, though. You play on a PS3 controller, but it's still associated with the Xbox colors. I know it would be enough of a mental cue for you, ProPuke, but that doesn't necessarily mean it works for everybody. In fact, most people look down at their controller and try to figure it out. The worst case scenario for this is actually when you're at a conference, or not a conference, like a show, which is part of like why this is in my head, is because when you're at home, you know exactly the controller you're holding, what the buttons are. When you're at a show, you look up and you see like, oh, red X, where is that? And then you have to look down at your controller and figure it out, because you're usually using, there's a decent chance you're using a controller you're not used to. And so most of my experience is showing games at shows is watching people struggle to figure out like how what they're holding maps to a screen, and I don't know for sure that that actually is happening in real life. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say how much this stuff matters. The world is full of noobs, ProPuke, but the noobs, they have money, man, and they buy games. So, gotta make games for the noobs too, man. Nintendo has reversed the accept cancel button layout. I wouldn't be surprised. I thought in general, PS4, well, not the PS4, Japanese games, the button that X's out is different. In a different location. Like the confirm and back out buttons seem to be flipped. I remember this from my days of playing JRPGs in my youth. Anytime I'd switch from an American game to a Japanese game, for some reason, the tactile language is different. We did not conform as a society globally on exactly, because I've played enough American games at this point. I'm like, the top button goes to the menu, this button goes back, this button is accept, this button is like some other thing, wildcard. But that's not necessarily what the entire world agrees. Exactly. And I'm telling you, partly that's not unusual. It's not that Nintendo did that. It's that that's Japanese games. Have always been that way. Like if you play like a Nipponichi game or whatever, they'll be reversed. Oh, Port Punky. This is this game's called Vacation Simulator. Simulating being on vacation. What's up? Are you back home? I'm not sure, partly. I honestly don't play that much on the Switch. I played Baba Is You on the Switch, and I played Gris. I only ever play the Switch on plane. It's a sausage instrumental dating sim. I don't own a Steam controller. Android. I feel like it's a mistake not owning these things. I'm starting to feel that way. Like not owning a 4K monitor really almost screwed me over. Should probably buy that stuff. What do I think of Baba Is You? I thought it was great. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really fresh and original. I maintain like it's because I play too much. It's because I'm making Kind, but like I am now mildly obsessed with Pipe Push Paradise. I loved that game. I need to go through and play through the extended content. That one's still like my favorite game, and unfortunately, I still had it on my mind when I was playing Baba Is You. You're sorry to hear what, Port Ponky? I fucking adore Pipe Push Paradise. That game is so good. I mean, I've spoken with Corey about it. Like, there's some readability issues and things, but I thought that game was so good. I like Baba Is You as well. I did not get as far as most of the people in the Thinky Puzzle Dev Discord or whatever. Like, I just have not gotten that far in it. But I definitely sunk quite a few hours in it. What else have I played recently? You're kidding, right? Are you missing that, Port Ponky? I can't tell if you're kidding. You're usually kidding. Hell yeah. I haven't played video games actually since I got back from, like, I played obviously Baba Is You on the plane, but I just have too much to do right now to play games. And The Witness is free in the Epic Games Store. Highly recommend. I don't think everybody in this chat's already played that game. You didn't realize Corey's Toboggan? Does Kind work on the Stadia controller? Kind will work on whatever Epic Games or the Unreal Engine supports, which is part of why I'm trying to update. Because I don't know. At this point, I just know the guys at Epic have signed more NDAs than I have. And I just need to stay in the most current engine. And then whatever I do will support everything. That's my strategy. It's worked out pretty well so far. But we will see. I'm confused. Are you actually confused, Port Bonky? Toboggan made Pipe Push Paradise. That's who he is. That's Corey, right? Now you're making me second guess myself. What am I sipping on? That's Dr. Pepper. It says you deserve this on it, which was really painful because I was carrying like a pack of this. What do you call it? Like a 24 pack back from the grocery store or like the convenience store up the street. And I dropped one and it like burst open and it was spraying me everywhere and shit. And I like grabbed it off the ground. It was cold that day. And I picked it up and turned around and it just said, you deserve this. And I was so mad I almost abandoned the rest. I don't want any lip from my fucking soda. Got it. Yeah, I'm sure you have all kinds of stuff in Germany. I'm sure you probably have healthier soda in Germany. I don't know how, but probably less corn syrup or something. I miss the bread in Germany. It was very filling. I didn't realize bread could be filling. Like in that way. We don't have that in America. Our bread is very, like, fluffy. Healthy soda in Germany is called beer. which is fair. I was dehydrated the entire time I was there. I went there for Gamescom a couple of years back, and it was very, very difficult because water is very expensive, and beer is cheaper than water, and I am cheap, so I had a bad time. Oh, poor Punky, I hate you. It's the sugar. Sugar makes food not filling. Perhaps. Android, it's more than that though. Like, the bread in America doesn't have, like, thickness. Like, it doesn't have hardiness. Like, it's lighter. Like, if you put a slice of Wonder Bread on your hand, it's very light compared to, like, a slice of whatever the hell it is they have in Germany. They also just, for breakfast, like the breakfast buffet, they put out this, like, thick bread. I love it. I just love food overseas. I love basic food. In the UK, I think I had a layover twice now. I've had a layover in Dublin on my way to do some show in the UK, and they've got, like, they do something to the bacon, like, I don't know what it is, and the eggs are like bright orange instead of yellow, and they're delicious. Like, the food overseas is heartier and filling. I love it. Something that slows you down, like chopsticks or super dense nutty bread, works wonders to slow you down. You bake your own bread, Mitchell? Oh, we've got junk food on lock, Golden, in America. We know how to do junk food, I'll give you that. Apparently, like, I have a friend who moved here from London, and she's talking about how, like, Americans have no qualms over mixing salty and sweet and savory together, whereas they work really hard to separate those. Like, usually you have your savory food and it doesn't touch your sweet food and so forth. But I mean, my counter argument to that is also the food in the UK is not as good, or specifically in where she's from, in, like, bumfuck nowhere, England. So, counterpoint. Chocolate covered fried bacon. Maybe not that. That would be a bit, well, you know, that might work. You know what? That might work. I don't know. If I have my own chickens. Husky, there's a million things I need to do in my life. Owning chickens and taking care of them was not high on my list. I'm gonna level with you. Mickey D's in Germany is shit. I'll admit that would not be where I would go if I went to Germany. Hey, Unicornator. I know. I'm sure it's fun. Chickens seem like they're... I don't know. I worked on a farm at one point. It was like a horse ranch, and they had a rooster. It was like a guard rooster. So the owner didn't like dogs for whatever reason, and we eventually had a guard goat, but that was only because the guard rooster had to be put down for being too violent. And the guard rooster was gone before I joined, but there's all these stories about it and how it would terrorize people and how violent it was, and how awful birds are in general, and how you shouldn't keep, like, roosters are the meanest creatures alive. And so I was kind of, like, raised to hate, I don't know, fowl, I suppose. And so I still kind of have this idea in my mind that chickens are mean and roosters are assholes. Oh, you make sourdough. Damn, dude. Yeah, waking up to the sound of a rooster is probably not high on my list of shit that I really look forward to. Gotta level with you. Alright, guys, are we gonna work today? I don't know. I've gone through a can of soda in over an hour and we haven't started working yet. I feel like, I don't know why people follow me, but I think the getting work done might be part of it. Could be. I don't even know where to start if we did start working now. I feel like I've gone so far off the reservation here. I'll read what my artist sent me before I logged off. Hey, my artist updated the boat. Let's just get latest and see what he did. He's gone for the weekend. You could hang out with me while I update to the latest engine. That could be fun for no one. No one at all. We'll have fun with that. Well, these are the notes I sent him. But theoretically it works. I never got 4.22 to work. I'm so mad. I follow you to avoid getting work done. Excellent. Well, now neither of us get work done. Why is the fog in the lower right corner static? I have not finished it yet. I just started doing that. I actually modeled that 2 days ago. It's part of an asset that's... I'll show you. It's easier to show you. That could be what we work on. If you want to work on the opening cinematic for unlocking the boat area, that would be fun. I don't really know what I'm doing there yet, too. So we could figure that out. It's on my long list of things, but it's officially the weekend. Nobody needs me anymore because everyone in the UK is gone for the day. And I'm free. I've got a list of things to do this weekend, but we have like a long ass weekend, so life is good. I use Maya. At least in the States you have lots of choices for cuisine, not just... Sorry. At least in the States you have lots of choices for cuisine around the world, not like Americanized versions, but you have immigrants from overseas who bring you their culture, and it's awesome. I went to a Russian deli the other day and got dumplings that reminded me of my grandma's dumplings. That's awesome, Husky. We have a lot of things that, because we've been such a melting pot for a long time, we also have like... There is something that is American Chinese food, which is not Chinese food made by Americans, but is Chinese immigrants that have been in America for a really long time and adapted the cuisine slightly to the American palate, but also just using what is more common in our country, and it's created a sort of fusion. An incredibly unhealthy fusion, but like American Chinese food is delicious. Like, it's amazing. It's not authentic. It's not like Chinese food, but it's very good. And you get a lot of things like that in America. You have cuisine that's kind of where we've mashed up things. Like, I'm a huge fan of Mexican Indian fusion that you get in like California. And you won't see that in Mexico or India, but you'll only see it here. Yeah, things like crab rangoons. They're delicious. It's not authentic in any way. It's only here in America. It's an American Chinese food thing. Hey, this Lato done. This is in fact a puzzle game. Yes. I should... Oh, you know what I gotta do? Here, check this out. If you'd like to know more, this is gonna be my cheeky response from now on. I'm just gonna link the Epic Games Store. I need to set it up so people can pre-order the game. This is the one downside. So I knew I was going to announce that it was coming out in the Epic Games Store, and I know there's a lot of controversy. So as soon as I knew that was going to happen, I went to Steam and I asked them to delist Kine from Steam, because I didn't want to... No one gives a fuck about Kine on Steam, right? Like, I had basically no wish lists, but just in case. Like, I just didn't want there to be a Steam page. So I had them delist it. But now I can't tell people to wishlist the game. I have no way of, like, getting it onto people's radar for the future. And I know some of this is, like, the Epic Games Store is young, so there's no, like, wishlist idea there. I think maybe I need to, like, roll something on my own, like start a mailing list or something. I need to figure this out in a bad way. I was talking to my friends about it. I'm having a great time. I'm going to love this game I'm making, but I'm not marketing it in any way well, right? Like, I got zero press coverage at GDC. Not that I expected to. I don't have a marketing plan still. My plan is, like, hopefully Epic comes up with something. Yeah, I had a good time working at Irrational. You think I'll get more exposure in the Epic Game Store versus Steam? It depends. So the user install base will be smaller. Most people who use the Epic Game Launcher use it to go into Fortnite. They're really not interested in looking for the games right now. That could change. I'll be launching later this year. But in general, I want a way to reach people. Like, the wishlist thing is nice because you can spend a year telling people to put the game on their wishlist, and then when you launch, everybody that wishlisted it gets an email. Whereas I don't have that right now. I need something. I need some kind of plan, and I don't have one. Thanks, Wheeze. I'm glad you think that. Maybe some of this might be wrong expectations. Because I feel like, keep in mind, the Flame in the Flood, we marketed that so poorly we almost folded the company, and that still was in the press significantly more than Kine. So when I tell you I know I'm not marketing the game very well, it's coming from like the experience of having failed at this and feeling that I'm failing at it again. And I know, like, compared to a lot of people, you feel like you see Kine a lot, but you are in the same bubble I am. And just because you're seeing it doesn't mean like normal people who aren't game developers are seeing it. Does that make sense? And so I don't want to sound like I'm, I am trying, and I appreciate like that you think I'm doing well, and that's cool, but I'm still scared. Do you understand? Did Epic give you a bunch of money to make it an Epic Game Store exclusive? Well, I mean, they compensated me for that, yes. There's a lot of talk on the Vault about how games fare on Steam with marketing versus not marketing. Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the games that do well on the Steam storefront too tend to be games that are highly replayable, roguelike. My friend just made a game called Factory Town, doing very well. City building games, those do really well on Steam. And Kine isn't that, right? Like, it's a cutesy puzzle game. I was hoping, like, this would be a game that if it was the early days of the Switch, it would have been nice. And I like those games. I like Nintendo-style games. I like the kind of, I mean, my background is animation. I like the idea of the kind of, like, franchise for everyone, kind of Shrek, things that aren't necessarily kids, that are kids-friendly but aren't for kids necessarily. Like, I like that idea. And if you played The Flame in the Flood, like, it was a difficult game, but it was, and it wasn't meant to be childish, but it was like a dark cartoon. It was stylized. That's the kind of thing I like, right? But it's a very difficult balance to strike because you want your game to look... I don't like games that look too mass market. I don't want a game that looks like a mobile game. I don't want a game that looks like a kid's game, but I still kind of want to do like something that's stylized and cartoony. And that's a really difficult place to hit and to sell really quickly and easily. And it's hard to convince people in like a trailer that that's what you have. I think games that I think do that really well are games like Firewatch and so forth. I think it's easier if you have really adult themes. If you have like say you make a game that's really cutesy and cartoony, like Super Meat Boy or something like that, but you see blood splatter constantly, gratuitous violence, then you get this feeling like, oh, this is dark cartoon. You've hit that kind of stylized but not for kids thing, which is one of the traps I'm afraid I could fall in really easily as people look at a trailer and think it's a kid's game. And there's a lot of anxieties I have about, in general, how to market something like this. Sorry, let me read more. Everyone has to install it. The store shouldn't be your main marketing tool. Golden, the store is my only marketing tool right now. I got nothing. The Flame in the Flood was not that much of a bigger production. I mean, it is, yeah. Like, on a... Let me see. Yeah, that was arguably a 5 times bigger production. Fair. Fair point. But I was on it, so I don't feel like it was that big. Fair point. You need a real website. That would help. I need a lot of things, Gaia. Eka told me, Eka just launched Falcon Age, and his big thing is, why the hell haven't you been tweeting out GIFs? Don't you know that's what you do? And so I'm gonna set a calendar reminder to tweet a GIF on Screenshot Saturday every other weekend. I guess that'll help. I'm skeptical. Whatever. I'll do it. It's a thing I can do, and I'll do it. Are Epic Games Store keys going to be in the Humble Bundles in the future? Yes, they are. That was announced. Don't worry about it, Golden. I too have been drunk. Being on the Epic Games Store is a valuable marketing tool. Maybe. I mean, I haven't talked to anybody to see what their numbers are. I don't know for sure it's translating into sales. You have to keep in mind, the other thing is, by the time I come out in the Epic Games Store, I don't think it will have flooded yet, but I don't know for sure. Like, I think they're opening it up to everybody next year, which is why I'm trying like hell to come out before the end of this year. But I'm also coming out Q4, which is dangerous for other reasons, because now I'm competing with the bigger franchises, and there's no way in hell Epic is going to feature an indie puzzle game over whatever blockbuster is launching around Christmas this year. So there's also that, right? And in general, the press coverage, you have to be careful about when you launch, when you time your launches, because the press is going to be doing deep dives into whatever the sexy AAA game is, theoretically, later in the year. I don't know. I think it's the ideal window. The ideal window would have actually been if I could have gotten the game done late summer, sometime after the Steam Summer Sale. Well before, like, August would have been sweet. There's no fucking way I can hit August. I'm gonna try to hit as soon as possible after August, but it's gonna be Q4 at the earliest. Flame the Flood was awesome. I picked it up and had no idea what the hell I was getting into. I'm glad you liked it, Husky. That's really sweet, man. That was definitely a fun game to work on. I had a great time with it. And the team there was great. Like, I loved those guys. And they are making a really cool thing for their next game, too. You should follow the Molasses Flood. Now that, like, it's been a bit, I'm like, I've stepped away from that project enough that I can see it with fresh eyes again, and it's fun. I'm excited for what they're doing. I'm also skeptical about just going out there and posting GIFs. I feel like it's a lot of taking shots in the dark. I like, so Weez, here's my, okay, so I come from AAA, and so my thoughts are, if you have the money and the time and the ability, what you do is you launch, like, if I could, I would make 2 very large trailers. One that launches launch date, and one that launches maybe correlating with some announcement of some sort a couple of months before launch. And trailers will get you far more reach than dripping out your content in smaller bits and GIFs on Twitter. But I don't have the bandwidth to make large trailers. I'm going to make a launch trailer because I have to. I don't know if I have the bandwidth to make another trailer in between now and then. I just don't. Like, that would delay my launch, which I think would be a mistake. So dripping out GIFs at Screenshot Saturday might be the best way to do it. But ideally, like, if this was a proper production, there would be a trailer. I would honestly probably this year launch it over E3 because E3 is looking a little bit content shy. And people are used to getting, like, looking at 30 interesting trailers over E3. And this year I think there's going to be like 20 interesting trailers over E3. So comparatively, unless I'm really shocked by E3 this year, unless they start announcing stuff for next year, E3 this year is going to be weird. It's a weird year. I actually think it's a good time to announce something over E3. Not that I can. But like if I was a bigger production, I would be targeting that pretty aggressively. That's one strategy, Port Funky. Just not give a shit about anybody playing until the Sweeney bucks run out. Yeah, I need to do well enough that people aren't afraid of giving me Sweeney bucks in the future. I highly recommend everybody buy Recursed. That game will break your mind. Have I thought about hiring someone to lay out the overall marketing approach for you? Well, the thing is, Gaia, I could do that. It costs money, and also what they do will be to tell me, like, I know different things that I can do. Like, I need to make either GIFs or a trailer. I know the cadence. They would be telling me things I already know. The problem is the actual doing of those things takes my time, and my time, I'm at a place now where I'm scheduling in seeing my boyfriend 3 times a week, or else I won't because I'm working so much. I've reached a point where my time is just not something I have in excess anymore. Like, I can't do it. I would have to, if I hired a marketing company, it would have to, and honestly, the best marketing materials come from people who are on the team. They don't come from like a marketing company dropping in. There's a handful of people who are really good at making trailers and things out of your game, but even then, it's just never the same as having the devs do it, in my opinion. The trombone solo album. I'm going to focus on a trailer or 2 for sure, but I'm starting to think that more and more people are exploring and discovering games just through GIFs on Twitter or Reddit. You think GIFs are equally as important as trailers? Yeah, a lot of Eka thinks that. A lot of people do. No, I did not finish Baba Is You, Remarch. I honestly only played like 3 hours of it on a plane. Delegate someone to hang out with my boyfriend. That would be nah, man, I don't think I'm into that. Nah, I'm good. And delegation does take time. Partly Atomic is correct. Free demos to streamers. I'll start thinking about that when we're closer to launch, for sure. Well, that's congratulations, Golden. That sounds awesome. You ignore trailers, you look at GIFs. Oh, it was cool watching people play at GDC. That was really cool. That felt really good. Like, really good. Like, I had a really good time. I'm over the moon. Like, I'm having a blast. I think reality is going to slap me in the face when there's no sales. But other than that, I'm over the moon. I think it's also going to take just the amount of time it's taking to do a lot of the polished things I want to do. Like, in my head, I could finish it on time and launch in, like, even September possibly. But I'm in a place, I haven't figured out where my launch date is yet, and I have some wiggle room here. And I don't know what the launches are going to look like in November, December. I want to launch before the holiday season, ideally, but I need as much time as possible to polish. And I think I want to launch simultaneously on console. Like, I'd rather be on the Switch and on the Epic Games Store at the same time. I think Epic kind of wants that too. I think Epic would like it if, the best thing for the Epic Games Store is if impressive, critically successful titles launch on everything, but on PC or only on Epic Games Store. You know what I mean? I think they would actually prefer it if I launched simultaneously on consoles. So, like, I'm balancing different options right now. Launching first on PC and then starting the ports. The ports, Elmore wants 3 months to do the ports, but he can start porting before I'm technically content locked. So there's some wiggle room there. Yeah, when I started, I only stream if I know I can basically do nothing for like 3 hours and it's fine. So don't worry about it. Like, I don't need to be working right now. This is my relaxation time. I'll do more work later. And like I said, nobody needs me right now. The biggest thing is like making sure nobody's blocked. Making sure all the plates are spinning. And all the plates are spinning and UK's done for the day, so I'm safe. I don't think I'm gonna put out a demo. The isolate done. What are you talking about, Golden? Trailer Tuesday. I don't know what this is. Are you saying I'm in this? Oh shit, you're in this. Congratulations. Well done. That's awesome. No demo for technical, marketing, or gameplay reasons. I'm not sure where to cut off the demo, and at the end of the day, it's a... Like, do you need a demo for a 5-hour puzzle game? I guess initially I didn't even consider doing a demo, because these days you can return a Steam game within, what is it, like an hour or two? So why bother doing all the work to, like, set up a demo that's a separate executable and everything if people can just return the game anyway? And my understanding is, I think Epic's going in the same direction as far as returns go. So rather than a demo, people are just going to buy the game, and if they don't want it, return it anyway. I just didn't see the point in doing the extra work for the demo. But if you think I'm wrong, like I don't, most of the games I see out there don't have demos right now, do they? Oh, Golden, they probably just found that on Twitter. Yeah, Epic has a 2-hour, 14-day refund policy. Sapphire, that's the kind of thing I should probably know, but don't, so thank you for that. You guys like demos, huh? Interesting. I don't know where I would cut off a demo logically. That's honestly just something I haven't thought about. I'll look if there's a way to automatically... Like, it could be like I do for GDC. It's just the entire game, but on a timer. But then I'd have to, like, bulletproof it so people couldn't hack it. People are gonna hack it either way. I don't know. We'll figure it out. You guys are so conflicted in this chat right now. Alright, how about this? I'm gonna go re-up my water and get another soda. And when I get back, we're gonna actually do some shader work. How about that, guys? Do you guys wanna do work? Excited? Hyped for doing work, maybe? No? Talking about demos? We'll find out when I get back. I'll be back. this box. I should open this box. Yeah, that's what streamers open boxes, right? These are all about that shit. Oh, that's just scissors. Had this for a week. Where are we? Oh, hey ProPuke, thank you for more bits. Don't bother, blah blah blah. I pirate. Cool. Yo, something I don't understand about culture is like people on YouTube and Twitch and shit like being way into opening boxes. But I do have a box, so we can open the box. This is a box from Nintendo. This should be. I've had it for 2 weeks. I haven't opened it yet. And if it's not a Switch dev kit, then I'm going to be very, very confused. And also a bit of trouble. Oh, yeah, okay. It's a Switch dev kit. Good. Check it out. I don't know if I'm legally allowed to show you this. You know what? We're not gonna not do this. Never mind. No idea. I forget. I think you're allowed to see it, right? You're arguing about piracy. I don't know. I was poor once. On the one hand, our industry, like, if everybody pirated, we wouldn't have jobs and life would suck. On the other hand, I wouldn't have a job if I wasn't willing to pirate the software I needed to become a game developer because I couldn't afford it. Like, there was no way for me to afford Maya when I was a kid. There's no way for me to afford any of the software I needed to make games or do any of the things I wanted to do, and there's no way for me to afford games because I was poor as fuck. So I pirated a lot in the beginning, so I can't possibly hate pirates, you know? That being said, I rely on people not pirating my work in order to eat, so it's a difficult... It's two sides of that coin, right? You know, there was a thing, the original, was it Xbox? The dev kits had like zebra stripes on them at one point, back before everybody knew what they were, like when they were unannounced. And if anybody leaked like a photo of the dev kit, Microsoft would know because the stripes were slightly different on everybody's box. I think somebody told me that in this chat once. Piracy is gray. Yeah, depends on why you do it, and if you're like supporting your artists, and it depends. I think a lot of kids have a lot of stupid reasons for why they do things, though. I mean, how do I put it? I think a lot of the conversations going on right now about the Epic Games Store are really, really stupid, but I'm extraordinarily biased, so I think in general, downvoting people's games because you don't like that their new game is coming out on the Epic Games Store is weird. I think like this kind of revenge downvoting, this using Using reviews to like get revenge on developers for perceived slights is weird. I pirate because there's no demos. Yeah. Oh, Golden, I mean, everybody's seeing it. Anybody that's like... Anybody... Like my friends at Proletariat. You've probably never heard of their game, but it's a big deal on the Epic Games Store right now. Like... I have to keep in mind, like, I know these people, right? Oops, why did that open Wikipedia? Why didn't it open the store? Windows, you know, you do these things. It makes it hard. Come on. There we go. Where is it? It'll be very early up here. Oh, maybe not. They've shrunk down. Spellbreak. This is being made by Proletariat. They're local. They weren't even out on Steam, but they had a page up so people could wishlist it on Steam. They're doing really well. They've got a tight-knit community of people playing this game. It's like wizards fighting, basically. It's like, I don't know if it's like a battle arena or if it's more like, honestly, I haven't played it. But they've got, it's a PvP game where you play as a mage. And it's cool and it's doing really well. And they told their community that they would come out on Steam, but when they launched, they got a deal with Epic, which let them make a much bigger launch. They delayed it slightly, and they came out on the Epic Games Store instead. And their Discord turned to just a complete shit show. My friend Ryan Clark, he dealt with a load of bullshit when he said his game was coming out on the Epic Games Store. These days, it's just like, if you have an exclusive on the Epic Games Store, people will just get mad at you for like, even if you weren't on Steam, even if you haven't released on Steam yet, even if you haven't sold pre-orders on Steam, people will get mad at you if you're exclusive in the Epic Games Store. Nobody got mad at me because I'm nobody, and I had no wish list on Steam, and I took down the page so fast I don't think people even realized. Like, when the announcement came out that I was coming to the Epic Games Store, I hadn't been on Steam for a month and nobody had noticed, so I don't think anybody had any grounds to get mad at me, or could. But yeah, like, people have been pretty weird about it on the internet. Green Nassinian. They review bombed the Borderlands titles, that's true. Yup. Where is it is my entire experience. Yeah, they've got a lot of work to do with the Epic Games Store. They're working on it. They've got a small army working on that storefront. And in a way it's cool, because like they were, a lot of why I was bogged down in doing marketing stuff before GDC was, and I wasn't streaming, was because I was working with them to set up the store page for Kine. And if you've ever worked with a store page, you know, like, here, let me just pull it up. When you give stuff to a storefront, you basically take the same 3 images and you like crop it in a million different ways to, let's just find it here. You have to give them like images cropped in a million different ways for them to mess with. But the thing about the Epic Games Store right now is they don't even have a back end, so you just literally talk to a human. You like, they sent me a list of, I need images in these sizes, so that this one will be for phone and this one will be for this, and how it'll be scaled and stuff. And then I send it to them, and then they work on like, then they put it together and they're like, give me an image. They're like, I think it'll look like this on a phone, it'll look like this in the PC. Whereas with Steam, obviously, you don't talk to a human, you just like put all the assets into places in the back end. It's all automated. Just none of this is automated yet. To the point where like I had back and forth when they initially did this. I gave them this, and they didn't have the ability to do bullet points, so they were like dashes. And then I was like, maybe we can get rid of the dashes. Like it's actually an email conversation about how to format this because they don't have standardized formatting. Like they are building the storefront now. And it's cool to watch. It's cool in a way to have that kind of like hands-on working with a person, but it's also like realize now how much work they do for every single thing they bring to the store right now. And they are scrambling to build their back end so that people can so there's not such a labor-intensive process of adding stuff. They're doing great, man. Like they've got, I think, is there anybody in this chat that's not in an English-speaking country? Can you go see if the storefront, if this is localized? Because I think they said they would localize the text for me, but I had no way of checking. Like, I don't think I can change the storefront to different languages. Oh, I can. Oh shit, let's look at it in French. Oh shit, oh shit. Is it? Yeah! Look at that motherfucker. They localized it. Oh, that's cool. Sweet. Look at it, it's localized. Shit, I didn't even have to do that. On Steam, I would have had to do that. Oh, man. Oh, I hope I can get back. Did that crash? Yikes. Oh, wait. Sorry. I'm missing this. You had kind wish listed on Steam? Thanks, by Dolphin. I'll tell you, there weren't that many people that did. Oh no. This is a nightmare. You know, I'm working with Rami on Game Dev World and I couldn't log into my email for weeks. And I didn't know why, because everything is like in his weird language from the Netherlands. What the hell even is this? Fuck. I hope this is English. Parlez-vous? Hehe. And we're back. Oh, just search for Kine on the Epic Game Store very much. It should be there. It's still English for you guys? Oh, they may not have Russian, Golden. I don't know. Let's look at the languages they're doing. Let's learn about this thing I agreed to be on. I'm friends with the people at Epic. I would have been on it even if it was... I would have just done this because I love these guys. I love working with them. Biased as hell. Okay, so it looks like they got French, Dutch. I didn't think the Dutch cared. 2 kinds of Spanish. Let's see if I know this. It's definitely Japanese. I'm guessing Japanese, Chinese, and Korean. Italian. I don't know what this is. Farsi. Well done. I hope that's Farsi. Portuguese. Polski. I don't know what these 2 are. Oh, Dutch is German. Yeah, that does make sense. Okay. I'm stupid. And that's Russian. Is the Russian one not working? Is that what Golden was saying? Let's check. I don't know why I'm so excited about this. You said which ones? Polski's Polish. You're embarrassed for me? That's okay. I have no shame. Don't worry about it. Oh, you're German. I didn't realize that, Golden. I'm sorry. I know Dutch isn't German. I read this as Dutch, but it's actually probably Deutsch, which is probably German. How Germans say the word German. So maybe we won't crash. Do we still search? Go away. I get it. The witness exists. Look, I'm all for the witness and I'm all for the Epic Game Store, but I'm not for ads in my fucking pop-up notifications. That cannot continue. Where is the search? Fuck yeah, that looks like it's probably German. Puzzle, 3D puzzle run and jump mit. I don't know about that translation. That doesn't feel very German. Taking a guess here. Oh, is that normal? Puzzle run and jump, eh? Mit tre trocken fucking shit. Alright. I remember I watched these two German dudes playing A Flame in the Flood in Gamescom, and I just remember them repeatedly going, Scheiße! And I just loved it. It's the only thing I know in German. And they just kept repeating it. They were just sitting there playing like, oh, yeah, Scheiße! Yeah, it's fine. I don't understand me either. I don't make much sense to anybody. You're not missing much. You thought it was an English term? Yeah, jump and run is not a thing. Like, not a description. Also, I don't think that's the right description for kind. I get how you would translate platformer that way. Why is this one long word? What was this word? Herausforderungen. What the fuck? Is that how they translate challenge? It's a very long word. Y'all are weird. Let's go back to English. I like how it's not even English, it's just standard. That's a little bit bitchy. I don't know if we should have gone with that. Don't know if that's appropriate. I think Rami would have some issues with that. In German, whole sentences can be a single word. Just anti-spaces. Very efficient. They're an efficient people. The longest Swedish word. It's 230 characters long. It's very sci-fi. It's very sci-fi to say default when you mean English. I think that's very American. I think that sounds like the kind of thing we would do. Assume that default is English. Is English the most common language in the world? Maybe. Let's Google it. I want to know. Chinese. Followed by Spanish. No shit. Why Spanish? Because Brazil's huge, so I thought it would be a pretty big split. No, the rest of South America just has way more people. English is third, motherfucker. So default should be Chinese. More people speak Spanish. I think most of those, so that's probably your primary language. Most people still also speak English. A lot of people who are bilingual, their second language is English. Yeah, no, Brazil is Portuguese, which means, like, so if you were going by landmass, you got a huge chunk of Portuguese speakers. If all of South America spoke Spanish, I would have assumed, yeah, Spanish is the most common in the world. But Brazil's Portuguese, so I thought that would really cut into the numbers. I thought, like, But I mean, I guess when you count up all of Central America and all of South America, it's not Brazil. Makes sense. Spanish is a large number of people. Oh, default means your OS. But that means there's no... I don't know, maybe. True. I think a lot of people speak English as a second language, and that would bump it up. I think if you took people who spoke both languages, English would be pretty high up there. Though maybe Spanish would still win. Definitely neither of us would beat Chinese, though. There's definitely just way more people that speak Chinese. Though I have to admit, I'm very ignorant here. Like, I thought there was 2 languages in China. Like Mandarin and Cantonese, but maybe... I'm not sure. Are we allowed to count them together? Are they similar enough? That's a good question, Polybite If you don't have... If you have an OS that's not English, can you check and see if English is an alternative option? Because you're right. Maybe default is just default to the OS and it hides it if it's the same as what they have. You do see it. Okay. All right. Default means what your OS is. Well, that makes sense then. It's cool. Yeah, we don't speak a lot of different languages in this country. We are not a very accepting country of cultures and so forth. In general, I think one of the reasons why, like, our border security is a bunch of assholes, and they get really suspicious of people if they have like a lot of stamps in their passport or if they travel a lot, because in our country, most people who are American never leave America, and that part of that is because our country is so big compared to other places. Like, if you go on vacation, you go on vacation just somewhere else within the country because it's just so big you can do that. And we've got all the biomes here and everything. So even people who feel like they travel a lot never need to get a passport or never need to get their passport stamped a lot. And when you see somebody from Europe who's obviously, in order to travel at all, they have to constantly get their passport stamped, especially before the European Union, it looks weird to us. It's like, why do you need to travel so much? That's so excessive. You're doing so much global travel. It's just a very different cultural thing. Especially if you're getting border security somewhere that's maybe less urban. Yeah. I said we were gonna work. Do we actually want to work? Do you think working is in our future here? What kind of working do we want to do even? What even is this? Let's play the game and try to get inspired. I had to start making a list of shit to do, like a burn down list for how to finish this area. Oh, we just got the latest boat. Oh, yeah. Alright, he removed the things I want to remove. He simplified this down. That looks better. You know, we got so much to do here. Let's definitely start a list. I already started one. Quilt his fold lines for where you are. Quilt gets darker when not loaded. That one's done. Edges of quilt do not have stitches. Yeah, this experiment's gonna go. So I did an experiment where we removed the stitches and I like it better, and the artists are cool with it, so we're gonna get rid of this. Initially I was gonna I had them remove the stitches from the base texture so I could experiment with different ways to put it on and randomize it. And then I just like it so much better, it's so much cleaner without them. So let's just get rid of that. That looks better. We need to do a lot here to make this fit the art style. This has to be sketchier. We'll get to that. Let's start a list. Sketchy lines on edges. Worlds. Now that I have 4K monitors, I want to redo the character art. Seems a bit bright. We could tone it down a little. Maybe. Let's mess with the animation. And it matches. Like back when I animated this boat, I had a very different idea for how this would move, and now that's a hammock that kind of sways. I want to redo that animation. Mess with boat animation. Fix the player shadow. Add a boat shadow to the hammock. That's easy, I could do that pretty quickly. For now, it's so distracting. Actually, I just want to get rid of that animation on the boat. Boat animation blueprint. Let's just cut that out. Let's just fix it. How am I going to do this? Do I want to... Because the truth is it can't sway as far as the hammock does. Otherwise it'll penetrate through places like this. Like if the boat swayed back and forth here, it would hit through this. Can we get tilt? Yeah, I mean, it could be something that kind of like the bottom could tilt and the whole thing could rotate. Let's look at that. So what's this is on like a sine wave, right? 1/1000. How am I doing this? Materials. So here's the wave material. The side to side is what I want. So I'm putting time through a sine wave. What if I use, not time, but I don't want to use the game tick. I think I want to use the audio tick. I could use the game tick, I guess. I don't do that anywhere else, though. Can you get audio time? No. Okay, so we're going to use game time. So game time in seconds. Let's crack open that animation. I have 4 different Mayas open, and none of them can get to the top of the screen. You. Okay. You're not saved. That's disturbing. Really? You never saved that, huh? Sure? I'll figure that out off stream. So that is disturbing. Art source. This is not what I want. That's my proxy boat that I made. And I told them what I want the boat to look like. Where is the animation for this? I haven't touched that in an eternity. It's gotta be here, right? Alright, boat idle. You live in boat ride, boat anims. Environment, boat ride. Are you actually in this? No. No, you are not. So I have boat. What the hell is this animation? So, you're taking a bit. Must not index the drive. Where? Oh, there you go. Boat idle. Where are you? Tumble art source player animation. Okay. Art source player, animation, boat idle. Oh, it took a while. Oh. Well, maybe why it took a while. Alrighty, so what happened when I was setting this file up? I think I did this before I knew what the hell I was doing. Thus the weirdness. You are what is animated. Okay, good. Well, 200 units. What I actually have in game is a very simple sine wave over 3 seconds. So it'll be 90 frames. Is that correct? So let's set you from 0 to 90. Let's delete all the animation we have. Let's just see if we can get this to work. I want nothing fancy, just rocking back and forth. Nope. Good, yeah, that's good. The hell is all this? And why didn't you export this rig? Oh. I feel like a light just turned off, but that light is the sun. All right. I don't remember how any of this works. Do I actually have to have an animation for these? It's acting a lot like I do. The fuck? Is that how I did it? That would make sense. I bet I do have to... So this is the hack. Okay. I'm having a stroke. Moving backward. the hell are you doing? Alright, change these to be 90 frames. Then export. Just blew my nose in the wrong napkin. That was definitely the one that I had a hot dog in. So now my face smells like hot dog. I'm fine with it. Okay. Later, Citizen. Oh, and that's obviously not going to do anything. God damn, that's loud. I will in a minute, Mitchell. I'm going to turn down my system sounds. They're already very low. All right. So in the animation blueprint, we need to actually evaluate the boat idle. How does this work? In the same boat. What? Oh, God, yeah. Okay. So part of this. So take the game time in seconds, find the remainder after dividing by 90, right? No. So what is it we want? We want to get this to a... No, 3. Find the remainder after dividing by 3. 3 seconds, right? Because this is explicit time. Yeah. And I probably have to do that for all of them. Sure still doesn't look like it's working, does it? "90 keys, 3 seconds. Oh, also move to game time. Get game time in seconds. Find the remainder. Oh, do I have to compile? Yeah, okay. Looks like that animation didn't update. Get the game tick. Game tick. So I got these 3 invisible boxes that are animating based on the game tick, which should keep them, and because the material system is working with the game tick as well, they should theoretically be in sync. I don't know if I've got like the period right or whatever, but they could be in sync. If they're out of sync, they'll be out of sync consistently. Ideally, if it's working. Yeah, I think that's consistently out of sync. I'm not entirely sure. Let's play with it. I suspect you need to be here. No, not 45. Hold on. And covers post-infinity cycle, view infinity. Where's this player animation boat idle? Yes, I will of course plug this, I'm sorry. Let me start up another export. So, one of the coolest things that my musician is doing is something called Charity Jam? Charity EP Jam? I don't know how to explain this. I know it's a collaboration. I know Mitchell, you've been working with lots of other musicians. You made an album. It's for something to do with Able Gamers. I could read this. A collaboration among game composers. Basically all proceeds from this go to Able Gamers, is that correct? And it's an awesome album. opposite of what we want. But we're closer. So that is the Charity EP Jam. For more awesome music, please purchase this. It goes to Able Gamers. Mitchell? Remind me when I put this in YouTube and we'll put in the link that you just put up. It's charityepjam.bandcamp.com. Yeah, I turned down my volume locally. Sorry. Sound design, not my strong point. Turns out, to the nice people who are still here in spite of their bleeding ears. Thank you, and I'm sorry. Did I just export this again? I moved it. Did I export it? Let's just get it going. So yeah, I'm closer. We're almost there, probably. I wish this scene didn't take forever to export. If I was at a real studio, I would take the time to fix that. But the only person that's put up with this is me, and I export scenes basically never, so I'm probably never gonna fix it. Right. One more time. All right. The boat is seesawing with the hammock. Are the characters attached? Yes. And that all looks right. And significantly better than it did before. I don't know if it'll actually work with the music, but how do I make it? I kind of want to make it so that if you're, well, what do you think? What are ways I could push this further? Like, it'd be nice. I need a lot of things to happen. I need some sort of wrinkle. It just doesn't feel very polished. It's almost like while the character's moving, the seesawing needs to stop. Is that even a thing I can do? Yes, of course it is. I mean, I'm thinking like, can I do that in the materials? Should I do that in the materials? Should that be the most important thing to do right now? Why is that still broken? Yeah, I think that'll go a long way. Making the hammock feel way more responsive. Okay. I need a variable that is if the character is currently executing a move. I think I need it to blend on. I need some sort of blend for that variable. I need it to affect the material global. My desk lamp is flickering. I'm not losing it. I'm not having a stroke. It's flickering. Right? I'm not crazy? I'm not crazy. Alright. Sorry, I'm just thinking about a lot of things right now. Okay, yes, I want to do that. Far more important is figuring out why this looks so dark. I'm scared that's going to be a quagmire. Why is it so not dark here and so extremely dark here? What is the difference? Maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe I can figure it out. Like, the one thing uses the character shader. Is it because you use the emissive? Probably. I don't know if there's a way around that. I could just make the boat not accept decals. It's kind of a cop-out. get? All right, you need to receive decals. Maybe I just need to pump something for the emissive. So what do I do for this and why is it so different? You use your base material. Use emissive heavily. Maybe I just gotta make something that's in between the character material and, like, maybe I just have to make an interactive prop material, which would suck. Or here's a weird one. We make a parameter that is prop. Is interactive prop. And we lerp from 0 to this if you are that. And from this to 0. That'll make it go entirely through the emissive. Is that what we want? Let's see what we get. Let's see how that works. I have to set you to accept decals again. So okay, that didn't do shit. So it's not. Oh, well, duh. I have to turn on. Okay, so for the poach. Interactive props, let's turn on is interactive prop. Yikes. That's not what I want. What am I doing here? Oh, you're looping from 0 to 1. Or loop to 0. I'm trying to share a lot of logic between these interactive props and like how they turn on and off. And on this shader and on the character shader, I'm trying to share stuff. So that's why it's getting... Interesting. So if we go with all emissive, it doesn't work at all. And what the hell? Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Interesting. So if it's all emissive, then you get nothing. How much emissive am I using for the environment. I did try pretty hard to make it feel pretty flat. And then I tuned the shadows based on the environments because the characters don't have shadows, like the decal shadows I'm using aren't on them. And I forgot about this middle ground, which is an interactive prop. So let's look at the environments. That'll be false. Draw mount. So this will be... This is not what I want. This is what I want. So I'm getting the wall color light. I'm adding in different shadow stuff. I think I made a mistake somewhere and I just kind of went with it. Because I don't think it's supposed to look like this. But, okay. If I'm right. I'm just pumping this into both the emissive and the base color. I should make lighting affect these less too, which it does. Huh. Yeah, okay. So apparently that's how I'm doing it. Do I want to keep doing it like this? I can never make the shadows darker than this. This is black. Which looks fine here, but is not fine in other places. I should probably lean heavily on the diffuse and not so much on the emissive, but it does give you a nice flat look. And it's not like it doesn't work. Anyway, that's working at least. Alright, what's the next thing? I want to have a shadow similar to that on this. Also, when you're moving on this, oops, we should get rid of this swag. Kind of want when you land on it for the boat to kind of as well. That'd be nice. Let's see. No, let's focus on this. So maybe some kind of shadow under the boat. Maybe moving in all 4 directions. Perhaps some kind of wrinkles. Moving in all 4 directions too. I feel like there needs to be a particularly deep cut right here. But I digress. So I need to limit it so you can't do this. I don't feel like thinking about this. I want to break from this. Let's do this. Let's finish up knocking up these other levels because that'll be brainless and I'll at least feel like I've accomplished something. So I've moved from system to system so quickly I've never updated these. Some of these, like, this is a half measure. How do I put it? I just want to continue doing this thing where I've added this piping along the sides of things and see where I run into problems. So I'm going to do that right now. And rest my mind. Where is this? I'm also going to hide these gameplay levels. They are hidden. Why are you visible? Why are you visible? Interesting. So we're just bugged out. Is that the deal? Please don't crash. Sweet. All right. Just give me a break. So you have... It's gonna be a corner piece. This tagging system is how I tell the game decides what to, how do I put it, when it should brighten different levels and things based on the tags. So this is like the modular system I built for this. Yeah, it's labor intensive, but it works. This here, one thing I have to troubleshoot at some point is figuring out how corners work. This is like a mix of different systems right now. I don't know. I don't think that's gonna work. Maybe instead of having this piping, or this here, maybe I don't do an obstacle. Maybe there's some, because the other thing is this looks like something that should be part of gameplay. Like all of these are gameplay, but I added in these to kind of like have something just for art to pull things, and I think that distracts from the design. I think that looks too much like something that should belong to gameplay. So I kind of hate it. So I kind of want these to go. I just know I don't want these. Don't know what I do want yet. It was a fine idea. We need something that holds up the corners. It could just be like something stupid. Like a little hook. I don't know. I'll think on it. It's just another thing to think about in the background. What are you? That light is gonna make me fucking mental if that continues. This is gonna be the stream where you watch me lose my mind. What did I tag you as? That's incorrect. 2. Hey, Delta. I think I might leave this edgeless, and that'll probably look fine. I don't know what bespoke. I'm gonna export this and ask him to build something specifically for this area. That's on the list of things I was supposed to do today. Let's get him this. The guy working, I'm saying him, the guy working in this area is named Rick. He is lovely. He made this beautiful texture that you see. And I have squished his art around and modeled these weird little things, much to his chagrin. What did I just do? No. File, export. What am I calling this? TA Romance? Is this TA Romance? Yes, because this is all of the... Let's call this Boat. Boat Levels. That's going to confuse with Combo TA Relationship. Whatever. Combo Level TA Boat. 02. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this as one thing. He's going to use this as a guide, and he's just going to make a thing that makes way more sense for this area. And we'll figure that out later. I'll probably, one of the things I need to do is I just modeled clouds, and I haven't figured out how they animate yet. And how I'm gonna make those work with the effects yet. That's something else I just got tired and stopped working on. So I'll delete that out and he won't worry about that right now. And I'll worry about that later. And we'll give him this, and that'll give him something to do. We've reached the point where I'm outnumbered and the artists have caught up to me. And I'm having trouble keeping them fed with work. Which is bad. For me, because I have a lot to do as well. But I'm back from traveling, so hopefully that won't be the case for much longer. We're in the animation directory. Tumble. Okay. Let's delete. No, that's all fine actually. Just gonna run my scripts that'll zero this out. I want this to be oriented around the center. Where are you oriented around? Nah. Let's actually like the center of this. Feels good. Alright. Save this as you are combo level T8 boat 02. Is that right? Yes. File, export. And what I'm going to do is he can just take this FBX and overwrite it with something that makes sense. And just to make sure he's not super confused, I'm going to delete that out of there so he knows roughly what he has to work with. And now what I want to do is I want to give him the opportunity to just... Ooh. So in game, I'm going to set all of these to be hidden. So you don't actually see that when you're playing, because they have gameplay logic on them right now, for better or worse. I'll probably replace them with static... I'll probably make the gameplay static cubes so they don't take up, you know, like, they're not being rendered invisibly or whatever. But in environment levels, let's make a boat levels. Let's import that FBX. And we'll just stub this into the world for him. Let's copy something that exists and is good. Like, are you a prop? Art backdrop, perfect. So this is just an object that has some properties that I want. And I'm going to set you to look like this. And plop you where I want you. And this is just an object that has, it only just draws. That's it. That's all it does. It's no gameplay logic. Let's see. How high are you supposed to be? This high? Is that accurate? Is it this high? That's accurate. Okay. Now you'll be there. Oops. Wrong thing. Let me set this object to have no collision. Let me set this object to use the right materials. Scribbles. Nope, nope, wrong thing. And scribbles. Bam. Okay, so it looks like nothing changed, but it's a lot easier for him to work with now, because all he has to do is I will check in those FBXs, and he just overwrites it and re-imports it, and he can see this being updated magically. That will make his life a lot easier. Environment levels. I don't think he uses Maya. All right, and we'll keep this modular. No, that doesn't really work, does it? I have a piece for this. This one. I swear he'll go in and clean this up. It won't look like shit forever. Tags. Photo 2. And that level will be done. This is O1D. Alright, later, Golden. Later, Frumples. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I switched to the monotonous stuff. My brain, like, I've been up for a while, and I've been working really hard this week, and I think I'm just gonna do easy, low-effort tasks until dinner, and then I'll get a second wind. Nah, I feel bad. Do you guys want me to work on shader stuff? Would that make you happy? Do you care? Are you even there? You're not even there. It's fine. Fuck it. This shit is mindless and therapeutic. Because you just take pieces and you move them from one place to another place. And then you rotate them. Or scale them, and then you tag them. And eventually I'll hit things I haven't considered yet, but so far... Like, for instance, this area. Like, what the hell do I want here? Like, this has to... It doesn't look like a hammock. It's got a pole. It's got to pull to something that doesn't look like it's gameplay. If I just literally have like a, maybe I have to ask him, ask my artist to be like, I need you to just do a thing. I don't care what. I had this diagonal piece from before. What if? I'm mixing the assets I'm using here. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm scared, so why can't I delete this? Is delete not a thing we do anymore? Are we beyond that in this engine? We don't need to delete, we just need to be more perfect. Oh god. Unreal, I can't live with this. Look, I know you really like this asset. Epic, I need a favor, man. I need this asset to go. Please. Can I move it somewhere else? Can I delete it from there? Oh, I can. Okay, you're just really upset about this one level in particular, huh? That level's needy. It has needs. Needs that asset. Alright, so... Jesus. I'm losing it. Alright, I get to do whatever I want. I want to do this. Diagonal. Let's, let's think about this. I like the idea that there's There's gotta be some element that is not gameplay. That looks like it's not gameplay. I think maybe if I take this asset... it's gotta hook into... Let's look at what hammocks connect to. Let's get inspired. We're just gonna go without this lamp. We're just gonna be lampless. Oh, so much better. So... okay. Some sort of metal bar. And that could be what we do. Let's take a look at the various things I have. So these are the modular pieces I used to build this. He gave me... I'm painting vertex color to determine different things. So like the X of the vertex color is how I determine... I plug that in the shader to determine, what is it? The Z fluttering, like the kind of... See how you get this kind of flutter? That turns on and off based on the Z. As I blend Z to 1, this turns it off. Because I don't want that flutter on the ropes, right? I only want it on this part. The swaying in Y is as I blend to 1, that turns on and off over the entire shader. I do want that on the ropes. I want the ropes to sway in Y. And it sways in Y based on how far you are from the center of the level. So like the center of the level will sway more than the edges of the level. And I think I have like a 5 tile threshold on that, so like 1,000 units away. And that's how in the world space I'm maneuvering the Y in that direction. And then the boat is moving, this is also affecting the Z. The Z world space offset of each pixel is being determined by the flutter plus the amount it should move based on the boat. And the thing that turns the boat on or off is the X of the vertex shader of the asset. So, or sorry, basically if I want to turn that off, I paint 1 in the vertex, what do you call it? When you paint when you paint vertex colors. So if a vertex has if the R quality of, basically RGB is XYZ, they make no difference in my head. As the R moves to 1, like this is all 1, everything is off for this. This is a blend where I have Y, which is the B, is at 0.5. The flutter, which is Z, which is G, is 0. And I think the X is also 0.5. No, the Y is 1. These sway completely. The X, the amount that this moves based on the boat, is 0.5. And the flutter is 0. That's how I got the effect I have. Anyway. This was something I did yesterday. Let's import the asset. He kind of riffed on my asset, so that's why it looks so shitty. So forgive this artist, okay? But, let's import that diagonal thing. Let's move this over to the new system. So when he modeled this, he imagined that there'd be holes in the tarp, and that this would just invisibly plug into a hole. And I was just like, that looks like ass. So I got rid of that hole. We did not go with that direction. And I think I want to get rid of this idea. And I think I mean, obviously this is going to go. Should move this actually. So you are here. Yeah, and the whole paradigm kind of changed on him, so poor dude. He's not here to defend his work, but he knew it was a stub. I'm moving to 400 and 400 because my units are, each grid tile is 200 units. If I could go back again, I would have made it 100, but you know, I can't turn back time, so here we are. So this is, I think, closer to what I want, and wish that looked a little more round. That'd be nice. Does this look a little more round? Kinda does. Maybe I steal this. Maybe I steal this. Yeah. Sorry. We're not going to use that at all. This is more easily accomplished. So we're going to take this asset, which is a little bit more complete and already has the things I need in it. I want to be able to see what I'm doing. Where's a corner piece? So let's say, let's mock up mock up what a corner would look like. So like a corner case would be maybe, let's put it over here, 600. Other way. So a corner in the game would probably look like this. So what I would want you to be, let's move you over here so I can see you. You should be at 300. 600? Sure. This would be, in this world, you live in, what tile do you live in? You live in a tile there. You live in a tile there. You live in a tile higher up that makes no logical sense. Where are you actually? I know I was off by 300 units, but still. Well, okay. Anyway, let's move you 200 units this way, 200 units this way. I think I want you to be out here. I think I want... this asset to look something like this. I think I want... wrong thing. Basically, this is what I'm imagining. And let's also... Sorry, friend, for fucking up your shit. Welcome to Game Dev. Wait, did I do that right? What? Did I just delete the wrong thing? Whatever, this will probably sell the idea, I hope. He won't be too sad. Okay, so we got like something like this. Should I cross it? I mean, I definitely have to pull this out a bit. I feel like I should cross it. Should I cross it? Is anyone there? Probably not. Alright, no one's there. That's fine. Yeah, why not? And then we'll like... No, this has to link into... I mean, I could make this an actual corner piece. Like this entire thing could be one piece. Oh, I kind of like that. Do I? No, I probably can't do that. Because there's going to be places where you have a corner. Yeah, like this needs to tie in a logical way. So to make it as modular as possible, I can't just blow away both corners. Where else am I going to want this? There's going to be other places I want this for sure. Yeah, okay. So, as fun as that would be. Maybe this would look better if I pulled it in quite a bit. Like, what if you were not placed 200 and 200 away? What if you were placed, in fact, right there? Too close. Scary close. Well, I don't know. There's nothing saying this has to be perfectly on the grid either. Alright, real question. Do we want it here or here? We want it here. Okay. You are... What the hell? What are you? Are you the, like, background? That's fine. You go here. You go here. Alright, and that'll be like what I do at corners. I'll have a little corner decal that like... He sticks out a bit. Kind of like a hammock. This one's gotta like... yeah. And hopefully that's just sort of fine. And this is what I'll do, and I'll have him clean it up. All right. Edit, delete all my type history. So lines, shadow, I see, okay. And these are just, those were there to help me figure it out, and this is just, I need to see this out so I can export it. Before I do that, I need to paint certain things. For instance, I think I'm scared that I just only moved the shadows. Okay, hide this. No, that's the whole thing, okay? Okay, never mind. Weird. All right, so paint vertex color. Ah, that's already set up. Good. I think those are the correct colors. How about you? Paint. I think you're already set up as well. Fuck yeah, that color looks right. Okay. That's our royal purple glory. Let's export this file. You are modular tether diagonal. Let's check that out. what am I looking for? Environment, levels, no. Environment, boat ride, tethers, diagonal. Yes. Let's extend this way the hell down. Then is this right? Yeah. So my corners will look something like this, except the materials will be, I think I need one of you has to be a line, right? Wrong one. Yeah, I'll ask him to clean that up. Let me make a note of this. Ask. Oh, whoops. Yeah. Ask Nick to tether. Okay. Now we're cooking. So I think that's just that. Is that gonna be good? Let's take a look at it. Looks kind of shit. I mean, we're not giving it a fair shot here. Let's get it into the material system. In all seriousness, do we need that? Isn't that kind of like a red herring? don't know why I didn't do this before. Kinda stupid. That just makes the level so much cleaner. Let's get rid of this bit here. Let's make you... Alright, I haven't read chat in an age. Is anyone even there? Nope. Good, because I'm tired and I think I'm going to take off. It has been fun. I don't know if anybody's still around. Thanks for hanging out if you are. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. It is 4:40 here. I think I'm gonna try to wrap up the boat stuff this week and then get back into the dance floor stuff, and then I'll feel like I got some things done. Easy night. Thanks for hanging out, man. Wow, my camera looks hella blown out. I moved to 4K monitors and everything's weird. Oh yeah, I'm repping the brand. The brand of the Unreal Engine. I do like those guys. Alright. I hope you guys had fun. Bye. Oh shit, right. Hosting people. That's the thing we do here. Who to host? Is anybody else? Oh shit! We're missing Clark Tank? Oh fuck, you gotta check out Clark Tank. What are you doing here? You should have been there. Alright, let's see. We're gonna rate him. Check this out. This like, I'm gonna grab a snack and then watch this. I forgot. It's Friday. Raid. Race yourself games. Learn some shit about stuff. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
More. Well, they definitely do something. Beep. They used to give you just visibility on the front store of the page just to Steam viewers in general.